Mindy, I promise you, I cannot tell you enough about how good I feel. Like it's amazing.
On April 16th, 2020, John Jones embarked on a weight loss journey. He shed about 100 pounds, is barely recognizable from the person I got to know several years ago.
The John I first met.
Yes.
Big John.
Big John. 356 pounds John. So,
you look like a different person.
yeah, I feel like a different person.
John's pride practically pops off the screen. He spent most of his life heavy, as many Americans do.
The obesity epidemic is transformative for health in the United States. It's probably now the #1 health problem. 42% of adults and 19% of children and adolescents have obesity.
According to medical experts, to have obesity means you have a body mass index of over 30. For example, an adult who is 5'9" and weighs more than 203 pounds. 9% of the U.S. population has severe obesity, a BMI over 40. That's a 5'9" person who weighs more than 271 pounds.
It's not clear to me why people aren't more concerned about this problem. It's become a social norm.
This started about 40 years back. Before that, obesity was there, but not in these proportions. And slowly, almost every state has now shown that the obesity rate is way above 15 to 20%.
And the convenience of vending machines everywhere certainly doesn't help. One estimate by Harvard University predicts if the rate continues the way it is, half of all Americans will have obesity by the year 2030. That's just 8 years away.
Right now, the rates are highest for people of color. 49.9% of Black adults have obesity. 45.6% of Hispanic adults have obesity, followed by 41.4% of white and 16.1% of Asian adults. When it comes to children, Hispanic kids have the highest obesity rate at 26.2%, followed by 24.8% of Black children, 16.6% of white, and 9% of Asian kids. It's concerning pediatricians.
The fact that we're seeing these trends, though, I think it's incumbent upon us, the physicians, teachers, coaches, and parents, to call it out and say, hey, let's get active.
Meanwhile, John is determined to be an example for his community.
And that's why I want people to know, like, look, I'm here. You've seen me. I'm right here. I'm in Baltimore, born and raised here, still here, and I'm doing this. It's about the choices, and I'm showing my community that we can do this.
We'll hear from John throughout the series, along with many other voices with unique perspectives.
I've been overweight almost my entire life.
And that subjected me to a lifetime of bullying and ridicule.
Peeling back the layers of this complex epidemic.
It's a perfect storm of, a lot of really bad factors.
We eat food for everything.
And the consequences of obesity are substantial.
Consequences not only in enormous healthcare costs, but shortened lives.
Mindy Becerra, WBAL TV 11 News.
Like it's amazing.
You've already met John Jones. He's shed about 100 pounds. Says it was a matter of life or death for him.
At some point, did you feel like, I'm going to die?
Yes.
And I have a family.
That's it.
John is a Baltimore City homicide detective.
I've been on death scenes where persons have literally died that have looked like me. And quote unquote natural causes, but the causes were, not eating properly, stress, and having a heart attack. I was literally a walking heart attack.
Sound dramatic? Well, it isn't.
And the consequences of obesity are substantial. Type 2 diabetes is probably the most prevalent consequence, but other cardiovascular disease risk factors, cardiovascular disease, hypertension, orthopedic problems, you name it. Every system in the body is affected by obesity.
And the extra weight doesn't have to be significant for a person of average height.
30 pounds weight will give you 30% higher chances of dying from all causes compared to somebody who's 30 pounds less.
According to Dr. Singh, being overweight or having obesity puts you at higher risk for 13 different kinds of cancers. breast, ovarian, colon, prostate, just to name a few. And the chance you will die of that cancer is greater as well.
People with obesity suffer from depression more often, too. And if the toll on health and well-being isn't enough,
The costs are enormous in terms of the percentage of our healthcare budget.
according to the CDC, in 2019, obesity-related medical care costs in the U.S. reached $173 billion a year. That's about 9% of the U.S. gross domestic product.
Diabetes alone take out 1 out of every $4 of health care.
And obesity accounts for almost half, more than 47% of the cost of treating chronic diseases like diabetes here in the U.S. Dr. Singh cannot emphasize enough the benefit of losing even moderate amounts of weight.
30 pounds less means no diabetes, no blood pressure, no cholesterol, no sleep apnea, no aching joints, no reflux, other than, your own self-respect or your ability to get up and run after your grandchild.
John remembers the struggle.
High blood pressure, sleep apnea machine. It was terrible. Like, I didn't feel confident. I was embarrassed about how I looked, how I felt in my clothes, and I was fed up. I mean, absolutely fed up.
And now he has erased his health issues, even stopped taking medication. But the question remains, how did this epidemic happen in the first place? So how did we get here?
It's a $1 million question.
Yeah, it's a perfect storm of, a lot of really bad factors that have gotten us here.
Factors like big plates, big portions, big advertising. Food is everywhere in our society.
We eat it when we are sad, we eat it when we are happy, and we eat it when we have nothing to do. So it has, our whole culture is circled around. I mean, how many food channels on TV we have?
Food is ubiquitous. It's everywhere you look. When I was young, the only thing that a gas station had was a gum machine.
Now there are sodas, candy, chips right at your fingertips. Grocery stores have changed too.
In the 1970s, there were anywhere from 10 to 15,000 products in a supermarket. Now the supermarket sizes have gotten much bigger, and you're talking anywhere from 50 to 80,000 products. Those are not better varieties of fruit and vegetables. Usually it has more to do with processed food.
A processed food is any food that has been altered in some way during preparation. Not all are unhealthy. This milk, for example, is processed. But many contain a lot of salt, sugar, and fat to make it last longer and taste better.
It's widely available, it's inexpensive, and it tastes really good. It's designed to make people overweight, although that's not the intent, but that's the consequence.
If you doubt that, consider a study by the National Institute of Health. For 2 weeks, one group ate highly processed food. Another group ate unprocessed food. Over those 2 weeks, the processed food group gained 2 pounds. The non-processed food group lost 2 pounds.
But the reality is our reliance on the quick and easy meal is likely here to stay.
People have been cooking a lot less, and so people are looking for convenience foods. And I think we have to realize that that is kind of the new norm. People are spending less time cooking.
Even if you want to cook from scratch, raw, healthy food can be expensive.
You can literally feed terribly your family for $20 if you want to just give them junk food. But to do it properly, it's a family of 3 to eat a healthy meal could cost, like, it could get exorbitant.
Costly and hard to come by in some poor neighborhoods where regular grocery stores are non-existent, and that's a problem that's hard to fix.
It's not realistic to think we're going to have, big brick and mortar projects coming into a lot of neighborhoods. Most chains are not looking to build more stores. It's a very high-risk venture, and it is not easy to do that in any area, let alone in lower-income neighborhoods where maybe the chances of recouping your costs are less. It's a very small profit margin industry.
And while we're eating more processed foods more often, we're moving much less.
We see that there's a lot less physical activity. Students don't necessarily have to have recess anymore.
Coming through.
We're much more sedentary. We don't have physical jobs the way we used to.
Now we don't even go to grocery store, we just order it. I don't know, next thing, what is next? Somebody's going to put food in our mouth? That would be awesome, right? We won't have to do anything, just chew.
Mindy Becerra, WBAL, TV 11 News.
I think a half marathon is probably my ultimate goal.
Jackie Benz is a tiny woman, but most of her life she's been heavy.
I was tired all the time. I was barely existing.
About 2 years ago, frustrated with failed diets, Jackie had bariatric surgery.
I've lost over 110 pounds. I've run my first 5K. She used to be able to run circles around me. Now I'm trying to pull her along and say, hey, keep up.
Surgery has been traditionally the best way of losing weight.
Bariatric surgery has been the gold standard, but most people with obesity aren't heavy enough to qualify for it. But now there are pharmaceutical treatments showing tremendous promise.
It's very, very exciting time.
The FDA approved Wegovy, or semaglutide, for weight loss in 2021 and are in the process of approving Mounjaro, or tirzepatide, for weight loss. Both drugs were initially used to treat diabetes, but they have also been found to suppress appetite.
The weight loss with these medications is about 20 to 25%, which is pretty close to the surgery, and these are very safe. So I think it's very revolutionary.
And significantly more patients qualify for this pharmaceutical treatment.
BMI 28 or above, or if somebody has diabetes. That's more than 98% of people with obesity. So it's not a small fraction.
This all sounds very promising, but according to the Stop Obesity Alliance, fewer than 1% of providers are prescribing these drugs for their patients with obesity. Why? Well, for one, they're not covered by most insurances or Medicare.
Most of the states that we've studied in state employee programs provide for nutritional counseling. Most states provide for bariatric surgery, but fewer states, like 20%, only 20%, provide for pharmacologic interventions for drug therapy.
Wegovy can cost more than $1,500 a month, Mounjaro $1,000 a month, and patients need to take the drugs indefinitely or they will gain the weight back.
The challenge is that it has to be continuous, and at the current prices, I think many health plans are averse to allowing the use of those drugs.
A perspective Dr. Singh believes is short-sighted.
Imagine you lose weight, you come off diabetes, and all the healthcare savings that come. But somebody needs to have a bigger picture.
Providers are reluctant.
Dr. Dietz lays a lot of blame on primary care providers.
I think the failure to prescribe these drugs or to explore drug therapy reflects the kind of bias and stigma associated with obesity, that people, including providers, blame people for their obesity and see it as a behavioral problem. And if they could only change their behavior, then the problem would go away. We know that's not the case. We know it's a medical problem. We know it's a disease, and a disease requiring therapy.
Remember John? He found a lifestyle program that works for him, but he did consider surgery. Jackie is glad she took that step. She says the recovery wasn't easy, but worth it.
She can now help me play soccer. And
Words can't express. It's been very life-changing in all areas.
Mindy Becerra, WBAL, TV 11 News.
I don't remember a time when I didn't carry extra weight since I was a child. And that subjected me to a lifetime of bullying and ridicule.
Just as cruel as the ridicule, the cycles of weight loss and eventual weight gain left Patty Neese feeling broken.
Every time I went on a diet and failed at sustained weight loss, I just went down the spiral of shame. Became more and more ashamed. And eventually I stopped trying.
But she started fighting to stop weight bias, not only in our society, but within the medical community. Patty is chair of the Obesity Action Coalition.
And educating more medical providers about obesity medicine, steps they can take, ways to approach patients, treatments they can offer is one way to also reduce bias, and getting people to understand that it's not as simple as pushing away from the table.
According to the Stop Obesity Alliance, only 61% of physicians surveyed say they felt comfortable counseling patients on obesity intervention. Over half said they would benefit from more training in obesity management. A University of Connecticut study found 19% of patients with obesity would avoid future doctor's appointments if a physician made them feel stigmatized.
I have specifically put off medical care many times over the years so that I avoid the shame and embarrassment.
And she says bias can lead to misdiagnosis. An orthopedic doctor diagnosed Patty's hip discomfort as, quote, obesity pain when she actually had severe scoliosis.
He didn't examine me. The only time he touched me was when he shook my hand on his way out of the door. He just refused to look past my weight. And I wish I could say that's unusual. It's not. Millions of people in larger bodies experience the same thing.
As the number of prescriptions increase,
Dr. Bill Dietz and colleagues with the Stop Obesity Alliance are working to educate doctors.
it's not considered a disease the way those of us in the field think about it. We think about obesity as a disease, not as a cosmetic issue.
Meanwhile, Patty found a new doctor she loves, an obesity medicine specialist.
Instead of assuming that I didn't eat well and didn't exercise, he assumed I had tried everything I could think of to lose weight. You know, he listened, he understood, and it made all the difference in the world, removing that judgment.
She's hoping for the day when society can see her for who she is, not how much she weighs.
And offering some compassion for people. You know, we miss that a lot in our society, but we particularly lack empathy and compassion for large-bodied people. And that leads to us not offering it to ourselves either. And that causes a lot of damage. It actually, in my case, I can tell you, it led me to eat more. It's not helpful. The shame and blame is not helpful. It hurts.
Mindy Becerra, WBAL TV 11 News.